Now, panic broke out in the ranks of parents last week as warnings of the MOMO Challenge hit news and were doing the rounds on social media and in school newsletters as well. Now, it's been reported that children and adolescents were being enticed online by a user named MOMO to perform a series of dangerous tasks, including violent acts and suicide. And this morning, we chat to our creative parenting expert and co-author of Tech Savvy Parenting, Nikki Bush, about what we can learn from all of this. Good morning, Nikki. It's good to have you here in these troubled times.
Yes, Kat. It really was panic stations, and you could just see it on all the social media channels. However, there were some discerning parents who went, "This is odd."
Yeah.
This is odd, and yeah, this is a very weird character. It actually comes from a special effects company in Japan. They are not the people who started the hoax. We don't know who started the hoax.
Yes.
It is not real. That character is real. Mm-hmm. It is a sculpture that exists. And somebody with a sick sense of humor has put it together and has started trying to scare children.
So how does the MOMO Challenge infiltrate our homes and our children's devices?
Apparently,
yes,
it pops up on your WhatsApp. You're asked to become friends with this entity, and then it starts sending you messages and challenges, including self-harm. So suicide has become a very big thing amongst youth. You just have to go onto YouTube, and there's many how-to videos. And with the MOMO Challenge, they're also supposedly teaching children how to commit suicide properly. Okay, but if you go and fact-check the MOMO Challenge, like with the Blue Whale Challenge last year, if you go to Snopes.com, which is a really, really good site to go and check the veracity of news, it's a hoax.
Okay, so it's not a real threat at all.
There's nothing behind it.
No one needs to be scared.
There's nothing behind it. So before we start sharing stuff virally, and this is the lesson I think that we need to learn from Blue Whale, from the MOMO Challenge, we need to go and check our facts before we start sharing.
Yeah.
Because when we share information, especially information that is negative or sensational like this, it goes viral very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So
and then panic spreads.
And panic spreads. So I have a ball here. You're going to play with me, Kat.
Okay.
This is bad news. Okay.
Is that bad
whether
news?
It's the MOMO Challenge, whether it's a naked selfie, I'm going to send it to you, and you're going to send it to me. Now think I'm your network, so send it to me. So I've got 500 people. You've got how many people on your network? A few 100,000.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. There we go. And you sent it to your 100,000.
Wow.
And look how quickly this thing moves.
And we've all touched it now.
We've all touched it. We've been affected by it. It may not be true, but we've shared it anyway. If we
even if you're doing it out of concern,
yes,
the fact that you haven't gone through the fact-checking steps to make sure that it's real, you have now spread the panic to other people that might not be so discerning.
So we exacerbate the panic and we create fear where maybe there is no fear necessary.
Wow.
And it could be as simple as going to like Snopes.com and you punch in MOMO Challenge, and immediately, because they pay their journalists to do the fact-checking,
yes,
immediately you will get a whole article that tells you whether it's real, whether it's not, what it's supposedly about, and if you actually go and have a look at this particular challenge, there were far more inquiries from newspapers than there were from concerned parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
When we come back again, as the author of Tech Savvy Parenting, I want you to tell us how parents can use this MOMO Challenge as a lesson to help children become more tech savvy. Because
as a teachable moment.
As a teachable moment, at the end of the day, you're trying to equip them with the skills to be discerning adults and discerning adolescents in these troubled times.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for
joining
us.
It's a tricky time to have children.
It is indeed. All right, 021-430-9881. Give us a call. Nikki's here to take your questions, and we'll be back with her very shortly. All right, we're back again with Nikki Bush, our creative parenting coach and also author of Tech Savvy Parenting. We're talking about what happened last week or in the weeks past with the MOMO Challenge that had parents panicking with this character that appeared on social media that encouraged kids to hurt themselves and to take on challenges that were harmful. But we've now gone about discussing the fact that this is indeed a hoax. There's nothing real about this. The threats that are made by this Momo character are unsubstantiated in totality, right?
Yeah,
so we know that.
Yeah.
Now, the last question I wanted to know from you, in our last segment, is how do parents use this moment as a teachable moment in order to help their children be more tech savvy?
Kat, great question. We need to teach our children to think before they post. They need to fact check. They need to think, does this sound too good to be true? So with a good news story, okay, where they're being offered money. I mean, how often have we fallen prey to that? I believe you make a lot of money with cryptocurrencies and things, you know? I mean, I've seen this on Facebook.
Gosh.
But you know,
Absolutely
but
not.
I thought about this one.
Yeah.
And before I shared it, I checked.
So you did, thank
I got hold
you.
of Graham and I said, Graham, this sounds ridiculous. Is it true or not?
I didn't know I was so rich until it became fake news.
Exactly. And interestingly, the people who actually share the most fake news and hoaxes are teenagers and the over 60s. So
That's quite interesting.
I got a message from my mum, and I think it was a Woolies thing. If you signed up, you got like R1,000 voucher.
Okay.
And she said, you must sign up and get your voucher. I went, but that's too good to be true.
Yeah.
Put it into Snopes.com, it's a hoax. It's that easy. Just keep Snopes.com in your mind and go
So they have a search, I guess, bar, and within which you type, what do you type in, for instance? Okay.
Blue Whale Challenge, the MOMO Challenge, etc.
Okay.
Anything, and it'll instantly tell you whether it's true or not.
You said something very interesting right now, that it is teenagers and over 60-year-olds that are most prone to sharing fake news. Why is that?
Well, let's look at teenagers. What do they want most? Attention. Anything that will give them attention, which is why they might share somebody's naked selfie. So there is another thing. So what's the teachable moment here?
Okay.
In this MOMO challenge, we need to talk to our kids about the fact that not everything on the internet is true. They shouldn't really be sharing stuff. They should never share stuff that puts other people in a bad light, or themselves. So naked selfie would be one. So is it right, the information that you've got or the photograph you're sharing, is it right? Is it good? Does it add value? If it doesn't add value, why are you sharing it? You need to learn to be discerning, ask yourself those questions. Why am I sharing this?
Yeah.
And have I checked it? So when you go and Google something like the MOMO Challenge, straight up it comes up, is it a hoax or not? That's one of the first things. But if you need to read down about 2 or 3 or 4 or even 10 posts and cross-check whatever it is that you are looking to fact check.
Don't always take the first search result that you find.
And what teenagers do, sadly, is they don't read for meaning.
Okay.
Their comprehension skills are low. They don't read a lot. They read the first 3 lines of Google and they don't read the whole story.
Sure.
And sometimes you need to read further to see what is true.
Do you think that teenagers seek that attention because they don't get it from elsewhere, like from parents, from interactions with those close to them where they need it most, and so they seek it elsewhere?
Yeah. So there are 3 nonverbal questions that children ask of us every day, subconsciously. It's not a conscious thought. Do you see me? Do you hear me? Am I important to you? They are looking for validation and acknowledgement from the people who count in their lives. And if they don't get it here at home, they will look elsewhere. And elsewhere today, Kat, is a very big place because it's both online and it's offline. And there are a lot of people online. So that whole thing of strangers in white vans sitting outside the school, the predators, that is an old-fashioned concept now because there are millions of predators sitting online who are not men in white vans. They're not so easy to spot.
Nikki, thank you very much. Really, really appreciate your time and expertise. And of course, if you're looking for more questions to be answered by Nikki, you can visit her website, nikkibush.com.